Previously. Hey everyone, this is Sanctuary99.
Are you ready to rock, Squidward?
Then of course, how would this work for All Might when he wanted to participate in band practice?
Beautiful! So noble!
Kyoko Jiro, aka Earphone Jack, will probably shove Bakugo into a trombone.
Pinky! No!
In addition to Minoru Mineta backing it up. And now. And here we are, the last panel to draw on, and ink over and color on, the leader of the band to the Super Bowl School Festival, to be in the place of Squidward to lead the marching band to the Bubble Bowl. And he is none other than... Hey everyone, this is Sanctuary99 and bring you back part 2 of My Hero Band Geeks speed drawing process. Apologize for any of the delays, so let's continue. So for the idea of Jiro being the vocalist instead of Ashino, her interpreted vocalist version of Sweet Victory would definitely proven that the leader of the band deserves the Sweet Victory for all his determined hard work. And much like everybody at the UA High School deserves a Sweet Victory for all of their hard work, all thanks to Izuku Midoriya stopping Gentle Criminal from pulling a heinous stunt at the school. And that was Jiro and Mineta singing at the microphone, as reenactment to SpongeBob and Plankton singing at the microphone, and the Sweet Victory course. Fumikage Tokiyami, aka Tsukiyomi, is up next, in the place of Mrs. Puff shredding the guitar. There's not really much to say about these two. Well, you could say that Tokiyami is a stereotypical emo kid who is an introvert, and Mrs. Puff is a driving instructor who has had enough with SpongeBob's incompetence. So why do you think that I pick Tokiyami representing Mrs. Puff? Only for the guitar strumming aspect. Now hear me out. My first impression of seeing Tokiyami playing the guitar for the very first time, I was speechless. Kinda like the way when Grim from Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy played the guitar like he's a heavy metal rocker from hell. To the point where he's so absurdly incredible as that it would destroy the entire neighborhood. Getting Spurg, the leader of the Purple Filth band, to join in. I mean, would you find it absurdly cool and awesome to see Tokiyami play an instrument like that, out of the blue? I certainly would. How about Mrs. Puff? I don't think so. Remember, it's a wacky and hilarious cartoon with no criteria. If any of you aspiring writers out there who love continuity, let me know in the comment section down below. So how about Tokiyami's purpose when representing in the episode of SpongeBob Band Geeks as Mrs. Puff? Well, there's nothing really to think about. Maybe he'll use Dark Shadow to use the two brass cymbals to slam both All Might and some random character to each other, much like Mrs. Puff would with slamming Mr. Krabs and the random fish guy together with the brass cymbal. I know it's incredibly stupid and absurd, but when you think about it, it would still be hilarious, even though it has nothing to do with My Hero Academia as a whole. But for the sake of storytelling, Tokiyami would have the will to protect, will do anything great for his friends, especially for Izuku Midoriya, or Suyu Asui. And that was Fumikage Tokiyami playing the electric guitar. But please don't ask him too much or he'll blow up the entire stadium. Up next is Momo Yayarozu, aka Creative, her quirk creation, as she plays on the keyboard just like she would play during the school festival. Oh no, she isn't contributing Plankton when he plays on the keyboard at the Bubble Bowl, no. It's Mineta in the place of Plankton, not her. Yeah, she's just playing the keyboard, she doesn't contribute to any character from SpongeBob, not even Sandy, or Squidward, or even Karen the computer wife. but probably Princess Minnie from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, the first SpongeBob movie, where she is smart, kind, compassionate, and also very caring. Exactly what I would expect from Yaoyorozu as well. But unfortunately, Mindy only appears in the movie, and she wouldn't do anything to do with Bank Geeks. Anyway, back to Momo Yaoyorozu. Maybe I should have her representing Squidward to lead the band instead of someone else. I mean, it would make more sense if she would feel desperate to prove herself against her rival from another school, but I don't think she doesn't have any rivals. Well, maybe this class wouldn't be representative. Izuka Kendo. Also, I do apologize that I don't have any ideas or any bright ideas for her to represent in Band Geeks. However, in My Hero Academia, she did critique on the fight against Bakugo and Midoriya, and why would it be such a risk if there was a hostage situation, an actual hostage situation, would have heavy casualties if it weren't for Midoriya's Detroit smash, just to prove her point from her speech. And if that's the case, why couldn't she just make a big motivational speech to encourage her classmates and everyone else to improve their musical skills for the leader of the band? At least that would be a worth demonstration to her purpose. But no, it all depends on Ashino instead. Now don't get me wrong, Yaoyorozu is a fine character. I mean, she's still developing, but she's still got a long way to go. Her leadership and her intelligence is the most important thing for her class. It would be impossible for Tenyohide to represent the class without somebody to back him up. And that was the drawing process of Momo Yaoyorozu playing the keyboard for the band. I'll allow you to form your own opinion about this. Up next for playing the brass section is Mashibara Ojiro aka Tailman and Rikido Sato aka Sugarman. Those two will be representing the Random Fish playing the trombone as an opening to the song Sweet Victory. Again, there's not much to talk about those two. Despite being members of Class 1A, they don't have much character development. But we do get one sweet gesture moment from Sato when he baked his cake, which the girls of Class 1A really do dig. Now, if only Horikoshi would take more time to develop these characters, other than focusing on the main characters. I would be more curious to learn more in the inside of them before enrolling UA. Like, the simple question is, why do they want to become heroes, and what's their motivation? What would make their quirk so special? Well, in any case, how about them being part of the SpongeBob interpretation? My only guess is that both Ojiro and Sato would be the flag twirlers in front of the band and march into the city. But then the leader of the band would nag these two to twirl their flags faster and faster and faster until they repel through the sky. So they'll hit the blimp until it explodes. Yeah, I know that joke is pretty dark, but at the same time it still gets me. It still gets a few laugh out of me. And once again, it was a cartoon. The anime does reflect on or relate to anything tragic in real life. Both Ojiro and Sato will never survive a near-death experience like that. And that was Mashiro, Ojiro, and Rikido Sato playing their trumpets. I only got 2 more panels to fill in until the process is completed. Up next, we have Naito Monoma from Class 1 Beer, otherwise known as Phantom Thief, taking the spot of Squirrel Fancy's son, the rival of Squidward's for what I think is a much perfect representation for SpongeBob Contribulation. I mean, think about it. Both of them have similar personalities and similar goals. Both of them could put on a smug, smiley face and gloat at the main characters for their so-called incompetence, while they gloat over their own success. Perhaps you could say that gloating is sort of a hobby to them. Also, I forgot to mention Monoma's quirk is Copier, which means that he can copy anyone else's quirk for a short period of time. He could copy Bakugo's quirk Explosion, Kirishima's quirk Hardening. The list can go on. And perhaps to Squilliam's character, maybe he would copy Squidward's hobby and dream as well. That plagiarizing jerk. Anyway, for the Band Geeks tribulation to My Hero Academia, Monoma will give a call to some student of Class 1A, saying that he'll be running a marching band at a Super Bowl halftime show at the school festival. And this of course gets them motivated to form their own marching band as a form of desperation, to prove that they are an equal. And when Monoma does appear to watch them blow it, his reaction will be exactly the same as Squilliam, being so impressed of how beautiful it is that he fainted. Now if only if Monoma would just react to the song Mighty You, he would faint as well. And that was Naito Monoma playing as Squilliam Fancy's son. I still think it's a perfect fit. And here we are, the last panel to draw on and ink over and color on, the leader of the band to the Super Bowl School Festival, to be in the place of Squidward to lead the marching band to the Bubble Bowl. And he is none other than Izuku Midoriya, aka Deku.
What? 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 What?
Did I intentionally make a Deku the Gary Stew that the audience doesn't like? Now some of you people really don't think that's a great idea for Midoriya to step in to lead the band. And he could easily be part of the dance team with Ashino or singing at the microphone with Mineta. You could basically have Midoriya be in a band just further down on the lineup from the panels. And definitely not have him compose for the band. But let me try to explain why I represent Midoriya as Squidward in the first place. Well, he began as a quirkless loser, as stated by Katsuki Bakugo, and he dreamed of wanting to be someone of a great superhero like his idol All Might. He would have such desperation to prove himself, but no matter what he does or how, he would be nothing more than a liability. As already stated by Mr. Aizawa, aka Eraserhead. And how about Squidward Tentacles, the main focus in the episode of Band Geeks? He was playing his clarinet like he's a pro at, but he got ready killed because the doctors from the hospitals confused the sound of his clarinet as a dying animal. Both Deku and Squidward are portrayed like martyrs, constantly getting made fun of by somebody who's better than them, which usually resorts to desperation, to prove themselves that they are great. But the main difference is that Deku is timid and socially frail, finds it hard to talk with somebody who has never seen before. Squidward, long before he ever thought of forming a marching band for himself, he was such a narcissistic, grumpy, next-door neighbor to SpongeBob, a stick in the sand kind of an octopus who really had no idea what he really wants in his life. And his only standard quirks are, no, not the powers, but his hobbies. Him riding his bike, playing musical instruments, doing some art, that kind of typical nostalgic kind of person. And Midoriya is also a superhero fanboy. He collects tons of All Might merchandise that he can get his hands physically on, especially that one poster that Tsunade has in his office. And lastly, for him playing as Squidward for Band Geeks, when Midoriya gets a call from Monoma at the phone, he would glow about running a fancy band at a Super Bowl, making Midoriya absolutely jealous, even though it would have nothing to do with superheroes. In essence, getting Midoriya absolutely desperate to prove they can have a much better fancy band than what Monoma has. His progress with his band with Class 1A and Co. didn't go so well, to the point where he's unable to stop the riot himself. For the sake of having a sad, depressing moment, He tells them all that he had crushed his heart into tiny pieces and tells them not to bother showing up tomorrow. With a sad long look at his face, it storms out of here, thanking everyone that his efforts were for nothing. Until then, Mina Ashido taking the place of SpongeBob with a big motivational speech, and tells it that they could all pretend that Midoriya was a fireman, that if he was a superhero or some guy in a thin skate tight spider suit, then they could all pull together and discover what it truly means to be in a marching band, and everybody cheers that they're gonna fix their mistakes and make Midoriya proud. And that's how this band was formed for Midoriya. And now I've covered all the base sketches, inking, colors, and all the characters in each panels in our working process. It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Finishing the illustration.
Let's see, who holds the finished product? You don't mind if I take it off your hand?
No.
Okay then.
Sorry about that. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that the My Hero Band Geeks illustration is done. Wow. Wow. Look how great and beautiful this thing is. I mean, it's not as great as I imagined it, but I think that'll do. You know, I cannot hardly wait to see what the people at Funimation would react to, or how the coach would react to this. And I'm pretty sure both of them would be amazed as much as they were amazed of watching the episode of SpongeBob. Can the cast and crew of Funimation reenact what they saw? I will have my blessings from them. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you'd like to see more of my stuff on Section99's YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified for my latest videos. Also, don't forget to follow me on DeviantArt to check out my initial Psycho-Man webcomic series. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter to become part of my organization today. Until then, this is Section99 signing off.